Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. SeKo Starcraft here, bringing you some amateur BS replays. There you have playing the best. That's funny, because Dipstick is talking to me right now, just as I'm casting one of his games that he had sent me recently. It is him up here in the top left, is the blue Terran. How are ya? Says Soap. Not bad. Yourself? Protoss. Red. The difficulty with anytime somebody's starting up and starts talking, I immediately get skeptical of anything that they might be trying to do. But we'll see if that's the case here. Pylon is in the base, so we at least know it's nothing too early if it is going to be a cheese. I'm drinking water right now, and that might seem lame, but it's got to be a long day. So I'm going to get two things here pretty quick. We'll give this a little bit more of an analytical nature here, because I know Dipstick's trying to get better. He's all the way up in the Gold League there. He's growing up so fast, he's going to be better than me soon. You guys wait. Be casting some of his games up there in the Platinum, maybe even Diamond Leagues. I'll be happy to get relegated back into Gold. More likely where I belong. Protoss, I was about to say, should have a gateway coming down there pretty quick. Yes, indeedy. Kind of an interesting spot. I don't think that's going to delay too much of the gas distance there. Sometimes it's really nice to be able to get down these buildings to be able to protect the Nexus, but if you're going up against a Terran player, it doesn't really do you that much good necessarily. Dipstick is going out for a scout. Very important to do that against Protoss. Two people in gas. Don't know if that's planned. Very unlikely. I don't know too many really good builds for 2 gas for a Terran in the amateur side of things. So maybe he's just delaying that for the time being because he needs a bit more minerals than anything else. He is going to scout his base. His scout went out a little bit slower, so he's going to want to make sure that he's not getting hit by anything too cheesy. That's why sometimes it's nice to throw down your first supply depot near the ramp. That way you at least scout when a scout comes into your base. Does a little run around here just to see if anything's weird. Did he go into the base yet? He did not. Generally, if I've got a worker coming across, I'm going to beeline it to their base as quickly as possible. That would look like a Transformers thing for a second. I will generally beeline it to their base because even if you don't scout a proxy, you can come in here and see what's missing and generally tell whether or not it's going to be a proxy. Both pylons are in the base, so we should be fairly comfortable. Something I encourage Terrans to do if you're feeling a little bit insecure is to just keep your SCV running around inside of his base. It's almost impossible for a Protoss to kill that until the Mothership Core comes out and a Stalker. So you can get on a lot of vision, sometimes really screw people up. We do have a Reaper on the way now, a good little scouting tool. Second supply depot's done, and a second gas here. And that's why. He's got a proxy factory. Now, Dipstick may have picked up the strategy from a replay that I casted, a TVP from the finals of the Gonzi Community Cup, where the Terran player floated in his factory and started running in Widowmines. It's a pretty cool sneaky play, and if you're going up against somebody who's proxying cheese, such as what happened in that same replay I was speaking of, you can see that this could have a lot of damage just because there's not going to be a lot of resources in the base for the time being to stop him. Yeah, actually, I don't think he's built a Zealot. He hasn't built a Stalker. Hasn't built a Mothership Core. Nothing. Saving up all of his resources so he can throw down that Dark Shrine. And as a Protoss player, it's nice to kind of stack all your pylons together. But generally, your second pylon should either be someplace to hide tech or someplace where you can scout the sides for anything weird happening. Double barracks going down with an engineering bay. He is going to be in a pretty safe spot here. It's nice to have the engineering bay down. 2 missile turrets. I would say that you just need the 1 missile turret. I do know a Widowmine's being made right now. I'll get to that in a second. You generally just need 1 missile turret that's going to be able to protect things. Oracle energy runs out so fast that if you're going to build 2, you might as well build 1 right between your extractors or refineries and 1 on the other side, so that way it covers everything nicely. And sometimes it's even nice to have 1. That's interesting that he didn't run it into... I got a good shot off on that Mothership Core. Generally, that first Widowmine, you want to go and get as much damage as possible, so running it into... Double pylon down here. Oh, it's a blink play. 1 base blinkage, which unfortunately sucks against Widowmine play. So this is going to be here for a long time, and we'll one-shot Stalkers. Robo is going to go down, but it's going to take some time now before that can get out. Is he going to spot this? Mothership has a lot of vision. This is the vision of the Protoss player right now. Oh, there it goes. Burrow. They have to be very careful. Oh, come on, big money. What? Well, at least you got the mothership core. Sometimes if you try to click too much with your Widowmine, you will just not actually fire at all. So he finds the factory. He's going to have to cancel out and lift it off. He doesn't want to lose that because he hasn't got his starport out yet, I don't think. Oh, he did throw it down, which is nice. Just in case you lost that factory, you want to be able to get that tech out. Where'd the other mine go? Did it die? Oh, it's right there. Burrow quick. Sweet. Wow. Oh no! He should have went for DTs, though the Terran player is pretty well beefed up for that. Should be getting that stim pack down as a Terran. Sometimes you get a little too, I don't know, stuck on the micro you're doing here. So what you should be doing if you got that big bang, throw down a command center. There's a stim, another barracks. Just keep your spending down. You might just want to go for a follow-up all-in here as the Terran player. Boosting out his observer there. So he should be able to get these Widowmines before that one fires again. 16 workers killed. If we look at the units tab, it's 12 probes to 26 SCVs. Dipstick happily is still making them. Hotkey wise, this is an advice I'd give to some amateur people. What you're going to want to do is, if you got an army out, doesn't matter how big it is, always have it hotkeyed. Just in case, let's say, a DT does come over into your mineral line just all of a sudden, you want to be able to click number 1 or 2 on your keyboard and attack that way. So if you got any units out, just have them in a hotkey, so you'll always be able to use them as quickly as possible. It's always nice to also have the orbital command hotkeyed, just so you can keep making workers, but it also means that you can fire out a... What's he making out of here? A tank. Crazy. Excuse me. So, Protoss plays in a pretty tough spot, but now it's kind of on the Terran player to go and do something with this. Dipstick is a very aggressive player, so he's going to go for the attack behind this. What he should be doing is expanding. He had the minerals. That's kind of an awkward fight. It's always nice to expand behind your attacks. It's very unlikely that you're going to be attacked at the same time. Isn't the Dark Shrine down? I would have probably encouraged that for Soap. Just because you've got to take some sort of risk to get back into it. Either start producing tons and tons of probes, or go for something that's going to do some damage. And when you're so far down in economy, sometimes it's nice to just use something like a DT play just to keep your opponent contained. Force them to use scans, particularly if your opponent hasn't expanded, only has the one orbital. Still not have enough scans to really deal with one DT warp in. I like that, just in case he wanted to just pick up and go into the base, he could. Now, Dipstick uses one of his broken ass medevacs here. The boost! That's so nice. I guess that one Marauder stuck out. Wanted to go after the medevacs, but unfortunately that's not going to work out well enough. GG from Soap. Very nice play there out of Dipstick. The little tweak of a piece there, what I would probably recommend to him is that you can tell he's starting to queue up a lot of units. What's more effective is that he does need to expand sooner. Watch how many people are in your gases. And once you start microing, it's very easy to let that minerals like really start to grow. So throwing down a command center is a good way to eat that up, and make sure if your attack fails that you're not going to be sunk in this game after that great lead that you got. Maybe even take the gold base. Be fun. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching some Gold League amateur games, and we'll talk with everybody later.